I'm going to do an S10 frame on the front of this. I like the geometry better on the S10s versus a Mustang 2 being bagged, because the Mustang 2A arms are only 11 inches, and they put them in a weird geometry whenever they're bagged and lowered. If static, they're fine.
Okay.
But bagged, I don't like a Mustang 2 bagged.
So you use an S10?
I use an S10.
I'm going to learn so much.
Yeah.
All right, just a second. Alrighty, welcome back. I am over the moon, just pulling in the dooryard. I'm at Welch's place. Oz, I'm going to tell him my story. I don't know your story yet because we just got here. But the way I look at it, Oz probably builds some of the most beautiful customs in the world. And you have won that award probably many of times, have you not?
Several times, yeah.
Several times. So he might be the king of customs if you're winning the most beautiful custom of the world. Or, you know, if you're winning that award, how many times you've won it?
I'm not sure. Tell you the truth, maybe 6.
Wow. So he's got 6 Super Bowl rings of custom car of the world, the most beautiful custom car of the world. That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool.
And we're it is cool. And I was talking to him for a second before we started. How many chops?
401.
401 chops. I find that so hard to believe. I find that so hard to believe. There's 400 cars that chopped roofs on. You've chopped them.
Pretty crazy.
Right on. So basically, we just got here. I've met Oz at the Grand National Roadshow Show for about half hour at Ace of Shades booth. We were talking for a little bit. I looked up to him in the magazines. Every time I got a magazine, he was on the cover or in it there somewhere. The cars you generally build for is John Gossiano. Am I saying that right?
D'Agostino. I've done 20. I think 26 cars for him. 25 or 26 cars for him.
And you got to give it hands off to him because he's taken them all over the world, is he not?
He's traveled everywhere. They would not be. I'm not the person to go to the shows and do what he does. Yeah. He's the best car promoter probably in the world. He takes what I build and goes and they get seen. Exactly.
Absolutely awesome.
So I'd rather just stay here and work and chop a top, and guess what? The car wouldn't go to all the shows. So it's kind of a good little thing. I get to work. He gets to show them.
Perfect. Yeah, like it's a good team. You need somebody like that to actually pay the person that wants to do the work. You know
exactly.
what I mean? Like 401 chops.
401.
401. Wow.
Seems crazy, huh?
It does. I can't
used to think I'd make 500, but I don't know, man.
Oh, you'll do it.
I'm dragging right now.
Are you dragging?
Yeah, I'm dragging.
So you're going to take me in and show me
around?
Let's
go do it, man.
Oh, I'm going to ask you a little more questions about the S10 because I want.
Yes.
The S10 you find is the better front end. You're just clipping it. Have you got one clipped here and show me?
You know what? I'm sure I do.
Okay.
I got to think for a second here.
So there's a couple Ford trucks he's chopped right there.
Yeah, little F155s.
57 Caddy?
57 Caddy, good deal. You got it.
Well, we have one, so that's the only way I knew.
Yeah, 57.
And you just got them everywhere,
Oh, yeah, there's 50 around back probably.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you're going to go crazy.
So, I love
36 Ford Roadster.
Yeah.
What
is that bad boy?
Yeah, that's a
Buick.
Yeah, that's got a Camaro clip and linked, and then super rare. See if you can see it through there.
Yes.
35 LaSalle Roadster. So supposedly, the rumor was that's number 5 off the assembly line. The VIN number is 00005.
Okay.
So they called that the missing 5 because no one knew where it was at. So I
Did
found.
you chop it?
I didn't, but I'm going to. So I got people already mad at me, but I am going to chop it.
That's what you do.
That's what I do. I said if they don't want me to chop it, buy it and save it. They can save it. Just pull out the checkbook. They can have it.
There you go.
But anyways, yeah, real rare car.
I want to get around and take a look at it a little bit better. But we'll go in here for a second, I guess, or whatever. I want to look at it. Look at this thing here now. That's sick.
61 Caddy, 59 roof.
That's sick.
Different.
And that's in good shape, is it
not?
Yeah,
it is nice, yeah. Yeah.
Is it yours?
It's mine, yeah.
That's beautiful.
Pretty cool.
That's absolutely beautiful. How long have you owned that?
15 years probably, 12, 15 years or something like that.
And this is the original height of the window?
Yes, it's already kind of chopped.
It is.
So that car, supposedly the rumor is number 5 was the pace car that they used in 1935. It was supposed to be this car. They're not sure if it was number 5 or number 6. This is number 5. The pace car was yellow. This car was maroon. So it wasn't this car. I wish it was. That'd have been a really cool story.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, pretty tough, huh?
Is that what you call beautiful? Tough?
That's pretty tough, yeah.
I'll try to say that now.
Yeah,
it's pretty tough. Pretty tough. Now this thing here, what do you get going on here like?
61 Caddy. And I don't really love a 61 or 62 Caddy roof. I mean, they're different, but I don't like either one of them. And so I got a crazy wild hair to do a 59 roof on one, so that's what I'm doing.
So this has already got me. I've already learned something already.
Mm-hmm.
You just skinned it.
Okay, so what I did this perimeter here is 59. The problem that you have is 59 is wider, and I didn't realize that when I did it, but 59 is about 1.5 inches wider than the 61 roof is. So I took a 59, cut it, narrowed it, and then I cut the whole skin out of it, and then I blasted the skin and coated it, and then I'll just put the skin back right on the top of it. So when I chop it, there pretty much won't be no weld. It'll just be a weld right here.
Right on.
So there won't be no.
So the window, did you do anything to the front window?
I already had one cut.
Okay.
So this is in the 60s they start with the like the wraparound style windows and stuff. So the only thing like on a 60 that you have to do is trim the top. If you keep the A pillars wide enough. If not, a lot of people sink them. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. It's
more work.
It's more work. The only plus to me is if you sink a window and say you're going 1.5 inches chop and you just sink the window, if you're driving it and you get a break in it, you can pull that by a windshield for a couple $100 versus cut a new windshield, because the days of cutting windshields are kind of getting rare.
Yes, so true. But you're saying you just cut it off at the top.
Just cut it off the top, yeah. And it's only probably 1.5 inches taken off this windshield here. So this is just a template for my other windshield.
To make this look good, 1.5 inches.
Yeah, 1.5 inches.
Yeah, see, now you've got that. You've got this nice shape going on here.
Yeah, see,
already.
that's 59.
And then you can make this shape.
Exactly. Yep. So I'll do this here. I'll make my own stainless filler up over here, whatever I have to do to here.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I looked at it, but I didn't want to bring the window too far forward and leave it on here because it looks more like it's cut off too much. So I want to leave this length.
Yeah, it looks good already.
Yeah, and I'll just cut the package tray, move the package tray up to here, or I could change the whole back window also to the Maverick. Maverick back window's a good back window.
Maverick, huh? Mm-hmm. You've played with so much more stuff than I have.
I've done a lot.
Yeah, like you've played with a bunch of stuff, so you would know. You can just tell the way it looks right now.
Yeah, it's on the verge of being right. Yeah,
it's tough.
It's tough, exactly.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. I'm just starting to get to the point where I would feel comfortable to chop a nice car. Just starting.
Oh no, you'll get to where you'll cut the crap out of anything.
Well,
wait till you're about like 200 chops. You'll be like, pull it in, let's chop that sucker. Let's just do it.
Right on.
Someone said one time, if you don't run out of gas at Oz's house, because you'll come out and your car will be chopped. Come back to get it, a sucker roof's cut off. 58 Caddy.
And you're doing obviously you're learning as you go when you do cars. You're not remembering every place you chop every car.
No, not really. But you know what? After a while, you can just look. I can look at a car and tell where it needs to be cut. I don't really got to think about it too awful much.
Okay.
You just kind of know what it needs to be done, and you just kind of
go for it.
Just go for it. Yeah.
This is 58.
58. Now on a 58, the back window the corners will get sunk in here.
Yes.
Because in order to get this to flow here, that back, and they're tempered back window.
So you're not cutting it.
So you can't cut it.
Right.
But they do make a lot of lamination back windows nowadays. So you can cut them, but
okay.
I'm okay with the tempered windows, as long as you can work with it. You know what I mean?
Right. Big tiki thing. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
That's tough.
That's tough. There's another little one.
Oh, just a second here. I see another chop over here.
Oh yeah.
What is this? That's
a 56 Ford.
56 Ford?
Yep.
So you're cutting it off, bring the post down, then reskinning the roof?
Yes, exactly. So the reason for that is on a 4, 5, and 6 Ford, whenever you cut them, they grow. And so they're different from a Chevy. A Chevy's totally different chop than a Ford. So if you chop up a Ford, when you cut them, you had to put a piece here. You splice it this way, and if you ever look on an F100, that's what people do. That's old school. People cut them that way, and then they do this. The problem is you lose that crown, and they're so flat.
Right.
And so you can see when painted and tell he cut it like that. So what I do is I chop and get it where I want to. Then I take another skin, I put a skin on it, and just weld around the skin.
Nice.
I don't got to weld across nowhere. So you can even see it right now. It's got the
Looks
right.
good. Yeah.
It's got the right shape, and it's not going to warp here versus warping in the middle.
So this Ford almost came straight down.
They do come pretty much almost straight down. Yeah, pretty close.
Nice. Right.
And this is a Dodge back window. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use it. Don't know, but I kind of wanted a chopped big window, and
Right.
instead of sinking the back glass, that Dodge is real close to the same contour as the F100 would be, 56 with a big back window. So I'll cut this perimeter out and put it in here, and it will look like a chopped window. But this is Dodge.
Man, I'm learning so much. That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, that's sick. Because I would think it was, how the hell did you do that?
Yeah.
It must be plexiglass.
That's
not.
what everyone would think.
Yes.
For 100%, that's what they would think.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You had a chassis too down the driveway that
I do.
That's nice.
I had that actually built. So I used to build all my own chassis, but I got a guy, and there's several guys that build chassis now, and that's all TIG welded on a jig, like $12,000 done, bagged chassis, and that's going to an old Rick Door car. You familiar with Rick Door? It's in this that building there.
Okay.
And so that actually chassis we just took out of the trailer a couple days ago. It gets blown apart into powder coating into next week maybe.
Okay, so that frame is getting used for something, obviously?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well done.
Yeah, it's all brand new. So that goes to powder coating in probably a week, 10 days. And then it comes back, then that Merc goes on the lift, gets blown apart on that chassis.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a nice Merc.
And these are just some of your projects in here?
Yeah, these are just how I can get in.
I couldn't believe you cut the roof off.
That's kind of crazy, huh?
That thing was...
Yeah. But you know what? Have you ever... You do things in life and you regret it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Everyone always asks me, do you ever regret doing that? And absolutely not. But there's a reason why. There's a reason kind of why, though. It ended up being the person that bought the roof off of it ended up probably being, I'm not even going to say he's a friend. He's more like family.
Okay.
And so just for that reason alone, I would have gave him my roof. So that makes the whole thing all worthwhile to me.
So this car was called Bad Apple?
It's Bad Apple, huh?
So if you look this up on the internet, I'm not sure if Jolene will be able to stick that bad boy in there, but this car is called Bad Apple.
It's Bad Apple, huh?
And it's a Bad Apple.
Yeah. And I drove a lot. I got a lot of miles. I got about almost 40,000 miles driving it.
It's tough.
It was tough. You know what? So, I mean, looking back, when you get old, you look back on like life or whatever, and things that you thought was hard for you ended up probably being the funnest thing of your life. So one time, that's all I had. We didn't have a car. That was our car. So I remember dropping the kids off at school, going grocery shopping. It's like, gosh, dang, I got to get another car. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Looking back, funnest of the car's ever been. Just driving it, just drove it.
Right on.
Mm-hmm. Kind of early 80s looking firewall, but I did it in the early 80s. So
that's why it looks like the 80s.
That's why it looks like an 80s. And I almost going to change it, but I'm not, just because I made it when I was young. And so I'm going to leave it.
Awesome. Awesome. So what would you like to show me?
I don't even know. Whatever you want to look at.
This here is a
39 Ford convertible.
39 Ford convertible.
It was bought in 39. The guy started custom. There was two of them. Two people bought a pair of them.
Okay.
And started customizing them in 1939, 1940. This car was done, completed, and both of them finished 1948. And on the, I don't know if they were on the cover, but they were in Hot Rod Magazine, 1948. So
wow, that's quite historical.
Pretty cool.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And you're redoing it.
And I'm redoing it, yeah.
So I'm going to ask you a question. I see this fender's welded on. Beautiful job welding it on.
Thank you.
Are you going to do anything else to it? Are you going to add a piece in there?
No, not on this, because the radius on this is going to be super tight, and the reason for that is normally like, I don't know what you're talking about. You would put like an inch filler in here and radius it with I
don't even know if I'd radius. I just weld a piece from there to there.
Yeah. But on this one we're not, because the radius is going to be that tight. So basically, just your finger.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we're going to do. And because these were on it these were built for the car, and if we put wrong one again. If we put these back on there, they're not going to fit the radius, and so the radius has to be. Oh my gosh!
They go on.
The radius has to be tight on it, or it's not going to fit here.
Somebody made that?
Yeah, someone made that, and these were on the car in 48. So someone did that. They took a fender and they hammered it. Pretty. There was a lot of cool craftsmen.
You just give me a light. So they took a fender and
exactly.
See,
they took a fender, cut it off, welded some tabs on it.
Yeah.
And these were, had to be probably brass, I would imagine.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah.
I never saw that.
There was some talented people out there in the days that they didn't have anything. They didn't have any tools. They just had to make everything.
Gotcha. The car looks pretty in decent shape.
The car was nice car, yeah.
Are you doing all your cars rotisserie, or just the ones that want
No, just the ones that want to.
Yeah. Do you have what can I say? Do you have like a timeline of something like this?
Well,
when someone comes in and says,
we work a lot of hours.
Yeah.
So it's me that work the most hours, and then I have my two boys that work for me also. I got a 18-year-old that's kind of like our little grunt go-to guy, learning how to weld and all this stuff. Then I have my other son who's really talented. He's really good. Yeah. And so between all of us, it's just like a little team. And but this car here is supposed to possibly, we're trying to get it done for Sacramento, and that's in April. So this car has to be done in April.
Wow, you got your little minions to work.
Yeah. So we put out, I work every day, long hours, 12, 14, 16 hours, whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes.
And that's why you got the name that you have.
That's why there's 400 something chops done. It's just a lot of hours. Just man hours is all it is.
Yeah, I get it. It's just hard to fathom.
I know, I get it.
Like, we work a lot, but I'm not looking after anybody while I'm working. Sometimes I am, but
that's the hardest part. You're right. You're onto something right there. If something happens, you have 5 people, you're babysitting more than you're working. So with my oldest son, I just tell him, hey, I want you to start mudding that up, and I can leave him alone. My other son is just kind of learning, but I let that son babysit him too. So I do my own thing, leave me alone through the day, and I just do what I do, and then they have a question, they ask me a question, but other than that, they just do their thing.
So as I'm talking to Oz, if you want to, go to his name, Oz Welch.
Oz Welch, or Oz Custom with a K.
Oz Customs with a K. And you can punch on his name. You could probably see some of the most beautiful customs in the world, because he's won the award 6 times.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. That's one of the cars up there, actually. That one.
Okay, I've seen that. I just don't want to get to it yet.
Yeah.
Is that John's or yours?
It's not mine. I wish it was mine. It got sold. A guy who owns it, Jerry Logan, who owns the car now.
Yes. You have a 50?
Little shoebox, 50,
Headlight treatment?
Yep.
It looks like it was done, or one time someone did the roof on it.
Yeah, it was just like a little mild that somebody was flaked. It kind of like a little rat rod-ish.
Yeah.
But drove it and kind of had fun with it. Now it's time for a new little look.
New life.
Yep.
And you're chopping this right at the present moment. What number is this one?
401. This is 401.
This is 401.
Yeah, and let me show you what I do too. Good idea for you to start doing this. Probably sounds a little crazy, and I didn't want to do it, but I started doing, just so I know, all the cars I do gets tags in them now in the door jambs.
Oh, that's cool.
So you need to do that. Just make a little tag, put it on there, because one of these days we're not going to be around. Someone's going to say, what number was that? I don't have no idea. Then that's just
I don't know if I'd ever get to 100, let alone
That's
400.
all right.
That's all right, he says. Yeah, I get it.
10's a lot.
Exactly, if you get them done.
Yeah, exactly. 10 is a lot.
Right. Man, you've worked yourself in, like, you got yourself worked in here.
Oh yeah, it's bad. And this is halfway cleaned up.
Halfway cleaned up.
Yeah. It's bad.
So what is your current project right now? Is it this one?
The 39.4 is my current project,
Right.
and the one that's in the booth is the 51 Jag I'm doing. That has to be done for Sacramento also.
Jesus. I want to go back over here and just maybe look at the cars
yeah.
that you do have in here. You have a, we'll go back over here by Bad Apple if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
no problem.
Boys, I'll tell you. So you have a Merc up here?
Yep.
Yours?
That was mine, yeah.
That one's yours? Mm-hmm. You've got a chassis built for it, have you?
Yep. That's the chassis underneath it is done, and that's the chassis for the car.
You're filling. You're going right to the right full tilt on that one. You got the underneath of it done.
Exactly. Yeah. If you walk over there and look underneath it, you'll see that everything's double paneled.
Okay, you've got chassis right here.
Yep. So like on your pan here, normally, your normal procedure would be like to do your tube like this and just do a pan on the top, and then you're done. But on this one here, I did a pan under it also, so it's double panned. Nice. So it would be finished top and bottom, and everything in the inner fender panels, everything is all finished under it.
You are putting in the hours, man. That's serious.
That's when I was young.
That's serious.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. And this car's chopped and sectioned.
This one is. Wow. That's why the hood is...
Exactly. Now, it's sectioned different than you normally would. Normally, you would section a body of a Merc. Yeah. This one is sectioned above the belt line.
Okay. So you cut it on top of
it? Yep.
Wow. And your chassis, like, painted up?
The chassis is nice, yeah.
Wow. I guess it's the work that you got to put in, man.
Hours.
It's the
so
work.
That's why I tell everybody. Everyone says, "How do you do it?" I says, "Depends on what you do on Saturday and Sundays. I know where I'm at. I'm in here, so it's just hours."
This is a 50.
That's 55.
55. Now there's what you call a.
Now
that would be the proper way of a Carson top.
Exactly.
Would you call that like?
Well, it's my proper way to of doing it, because the reason I do like doing it, it's stronger than chicken wire.
Yes.
It's still light.
I agree with that.
And you can take a hammer and you can stretch this really nice, or shrink it. So if you're looking at it and think, I got a low spot right here, you can just take your hammer and knock it up and it will stay right there.
Right.
So this is the way that I like doing it. I use conduit. A lot of people say, conduits, whatever. Well, I got a lot of tops out there with them and haven't had a problem with them, so.
Well, that's the proof in the pudding right there.
Exactly.
If you have got no problem with them. And when you sent me the picture of that, I was thinking, I was going to try the chicken wire because I've never done it before.
Yeah.
But this is the way to do it.
Well, that's my way to do it, that I like doing it. There's nothing wrong with chicken wire, but normally chicken wire is going all the way back to like the real Carson days, and they would be, they use chicken wire, and then they use cotton. They put cotton over the top of it. But if you look at it, they kind of have a lot of little whoops in them, which was okay for back then, but nowadays, people are pretty picky. You got to have it kind of dialed in.
Yeah, they're way pickier than it was before. Are you bending that with the conduit thing?
I am.
Yeah. Because I've seen a couple that you've done. They really look good in here at the sail panels.
Yeah, that's where all the work's at.
At the sail panels.
Yep, that's where all the work's at. That's where all the look comes from, is that corner right there.
Yeah, I agree.
And then you skin it. You know what Lundile top foam is?
No.
It's a 1/4-inch thick foam. It was made for like a convertible or a Lundile top, like a Lincoln with a half.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yep.
So it's really super light foam, and you spray and you glue it on there, and you can build your layers up to this thick or however many layers you want, and then you take a piece of 36 on a long board, and you can sand it and get the shape you want. And it sands like it makes a mess, but it just carves off so fast, and you can get that shape you want without having to mess with it a lot. And there's no weight. I mean, you can literally make it this thick and it don't weigh, probably this thick on there would probably weigh 3, 4, 5 pounds. Don't weigh nothing.
I'm taking that. Okay. It's a certain kind of foam that you can get.
It's a Lundile top foam. I'll send you a picture of it and show you what it is. And
I can glue that on there and I can, on.
Yeah. So you just spray your glue on it, put it on there, and then you can put another piece and another piece and another piece if you want to, and then you just sand it off with some box.
So would you do that to your roof if you
we do that.
You do that.
Yeah.
And you sand it to make it where you want to before you...
Exactly. And you can kind of see, because it's kind of hard to see. Like, you know, you're looking at that thinking, I like it. And you get it upholstered and you go, that looks like crap, man. It's low, super low right here. I don't even see it.
Yeah.
Well, with that on, there's kind of like putting a sheet over it, kind of. You can see it, and then you can shape and get back away from it and look at it and go, it needs a little more right here. And you can just spray another piece on it. Put, you know, like say, instance, you're low here.
Yeah.
You don't have to put a whole piece on it. You can literally just put a 2-foot square, put it on there, and just sand it off.
Nice.
And it feathers out pretty nice. And
I just did I did it in wood.
Yep.
But I can see, like, I might have a little low after the thing, and I was thinking maybe we'll have to add another piece of foam there.
I'll just do the Lindau top foam. I don't know what if you can get stuff in Canada. I don't know.
We'll see.
Apparently, huh?
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be awesome if I could do that. Like, that'd be absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Go in the booth. I'll show you the Jag.
Okay.
The Jag's chop number 400.
Do you run bias ply?
I like biases, but they ride like crap. But I like them.
Yeah. Man, they're expensive.
They are expensive.
They are. You got bias ply tires hanging around.
Yeah. They're every little.
I'd be on you.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
And you're doing a Jaguar right at the present moment.
This is 51 Jag.
Okay.
51 Jag Roadster.
Right on. Beautiful.
And I chopped the top already on it. It's a convertible, so
You've chopped the top on it.
Yeah, this is number 400.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Different.
With a chopped top.
Yeah. Gonna make people mad too.
But it looks so nice.
You know what? They're so tall that I chopped it 4 inches, and it looks stock to me. It don't look like it's chopped. It just looks like proportionate. That's how it should have came from the factory.
That's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Gorgeous. And this is your color?
No, the car is actually going to go kind of what it is right here. So it's going to be in between this. This car here is I don't like doing anything one color. Kind of boring to me.
Yeah.
So this car has like 4 different colors on it. It's got the silver blue, and then I faded some lavender on it, and we're going to do it again, but maybe not make the lavender quite so strong. Soften the lavenders up a little bit. So it'll be, you can see the different colors. It's probably going to be closer to what maybe that one is.
There you
So
go.
it's going to be this on the body, and then highlighted in some lavenders like this. And it's not much, but you can see it flopping here.
I can see that.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can see that a little lighter than that. Yeah.
And then when you take that and put it in the sun, the whole lavender goes away. It all becomes this color. It's just lavender pearls is all that is. The dash is for the 39. The 39 is going back. Yep.
Baby?
Yep. This will be Ace of Shades. That's Ace of Shades.
Right.
Yeah. So
Is it going good for you?
it's going good. It's kind of it's a new learning process for me because I've used House of Colors for my whole life.
Yes.
And so it's kind of a little bit of a learning curve on just a few little things on what to do and what you can't do and what you can get away with. And I push my limits just to find out. So.
And you're pushing it on a 59 G.
Yeah, I'll push it on this to you. Exactly, yeah. Pretty funny.
I'd be nervous as a grasshopper in a chicken
Yeah,
house.
nah, it's all good.
It's all good?
Yeah, it's only metal.
There you go. Yeah. I've seen you in the magazine so many times and looked up to what you did and you inspired me and now I'm here. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's got a beautiful chop on it.
It's pretty cool. You know, well, I chopped that in, I was trying to figure it up, I think probably 1983 is when I chopped that. 83 or 84.
I like how you got the door, you weld the door tops on the roof, did you not?
Yes, exactly. Good eye. So that is totally weird. That's a hard top without the trim, without the with the B pillar still in there, so the trim doesn't go around it.
Right.
The trim just goes around the window, and but it's still a hard top. When you open the door,
Right.
it's a hard top.
That's cool. And you've made different fender skirts for it. You
Oh yeah,
obviously cut the
exactly.
corner
Handmade,
panel.
yeah, exactly.
You Frenched your leg pipes.
Yep,
It's sectioned,
sectioned.
and it's got different. It's got what?
Buick.
Buick headlight.
Yeah, 53 Buick.
Wow. That would be nice done, Oz.
I know.
I know, he says.
These people here are talking about buying it. If they do, that's probably the only way I'm ever going to finish it because I don't have time to finish my stuff.
Gotcha.
But I would like to. But like I said, I chopped it in probably 83 or something. Ain't done yet.
And
Probably not going to get done.
so, on this one here, why did you cut the roof off?
Okay, so once again, if you go like look online or whatever, you'll see a lot of. Now this was chopped a long time ago too. So I've had this car for 40 years maybe. I chopped it 40 years ago, and so I drove it, and then the new Mercs that I've been chopping the last 30 years, I liked their top better, and so I just kept looking and thinking, man, the top turned out better than mine. I liked it better, so I thought one day I thought, you know what?
Why did it turn out better? Just a little lower?
It's a little lower, a little faster, and just a little bit different look. And I wanted to try something, but all the window garnish molds are done, all the stainless is done, all the glass is done. I thought, kind of dumb to re-chop something that's done. So I thought, I'll just cut along the belt line, sell the whole roof, and start all over again. So that's what I did.
Gotcha.
So it's actually chopped about 3/4 of an inch lower than normal, but I also took a 1/2 inch out of here. So the windows are opened up back up again. So I made, instead of this being up here like where it should be, and the windows being really small, I opened that back up again. And
I was wondering why you cut that there.
That's why. So it's kind of like going to mess with some people's head when they look at it like, it's like really a radical chop, but the windows aren't really crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of small, but.
Generally, I guess the way I'm thinking, every time I cut something, I want to make the less cuts as possible. But sometimes you can't get the look that you want.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
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 I mean, it's really nice to be able to chop something without making all the slices. You might as well just make the slices because you're going to look at back there for years down there. You're going to think, I don't like it. I don't like this.
Well, I did. When I chopped the 50, like the first time I got to chop one, I chopped it, and I didn't want to make all the cuts and make the sail panels and come back. And I obviously just stretched it at the catwalk and made. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, but I like the faster back ones.
I like it better too.
Yeah.
And in order to get it, unless you English drill that whole back thing right there, you got to do like what I did on that Ford over there, and you just got to cut. It's just welding and grinding.
Gotcha. I mean, I do like it, and it looks cool.
But you got to love it.
I got to love it.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not going to chop the roof off. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm leaving it.
Yeah.
But the next one, I probably would go a different way.
Yeah.
I have a 51 Oldsmobile.
Nice.
It's a nice car.
Yeah.
Like
Hardtop?
No,
or post?
It's a post. It's really nice. Like the underneath is new looking. Like it's really good. And I'm thinking I might chop it, but it does have the round, or what's it called, the round window, panoramic window in the front, and it has the panoramic window in the back.
That's doable though.
That's doable. The front window you'd have to chop?
You would have to, absolutely.
Yeah, chop that one. In the back one, I guess you're just laying it down until you get a nice rake.
Yep, exactly. You just pretty much cut it out, get your chop where you want to, and then just hinge it, cut out, let it hinge.
Yeah.
And hinge it to where you get the right flow and the right look out of it.
And then put her back together.
And just start welding.
Right on.
That car would look good chopped.
Yeah.
There's actually one out of, I think, Japan. 51, 52 Olds. That looks really nice.
Yes. What taillight treatment would you put on? It's kind of got
I like Packard.
Yeah, I know. They're hard to get.
Yeah, but I would do 55 Packard.
55 Packard.
Yeah.
What do them bad boys look like?
They're different than a 6 because the car just left with them. They kind of look like a kind of a smoother caddy looking taillight. They're kind of a little domed and just kind of, they fit that 1/4 pound on the Oldsmobile perfect.
Okay. We'll remember that.
Oh yeah, I'll send you pictures of it too, of one or whatever, one I done or something.
So what do you got here?
That's a 50 Chevy fastback.
And you've chopped that, obviously.
Yep.
Is that yours?
It wasn't. I just bought it. It was a customer's, and he decided to go a different direction and buy a Harley and stuff. So he called me one day and said, hey, I'm going to sell my car. And I said, I don't know anybody. And then he told me how much. I said, you're stupid. And then I just ended up buying it. So.
Right. And
that's an S10 there.
Did you clip this?
Yes, that's S10.
Now, will you put bags in that?
This one's bagged, yeah.
So you're just putting it, okay.
Yeah, you cut the pockets out.
Yep.
When we get over to my caddy, maybe.
Okay.
Some you can see up on the lift, a little bit easier. You just cut the pockets out, do plates on the bottom of the A-arms. And
Bob's your Uncle Peter's your regular.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cadillac?
Yep, 64 convertible. 50 Chevy.
Yours?
Yeah.
Is that yours?
Yeah.
Yours?
Yeah.
Yours? Yours?
Yeah, I got a couple in here. I figured I bought this shop, I paid for the space.
You got that right?
Most of these are mine. Customer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are these for sale?
Everything's for sale.
Okay. You're just putting it out there for the video.
I don't really. You know what? At a certain point in your life, you realize. When I look at that Chevy, I was probably 18 when I did that car. Chopped it, I drove it around a little bit. Am I really going to have time to finish it in the rest of my life? That ain't going to happen. And so I just got to pick and choose what I want to do and be limited.
So it could be for sale.
It could be for sale, sure.
Just that you're doing the video, and if the people are going to see it. Oh, this is the man. If you want a chop car, you know how much it costs. What's a chop cost?
You know what, they're going up, but I'm not as crazy as like what a lot of people think. You know, they think like, oh my gosh, he's untouchable, and I'm not. A top like a shoebox like that's 15 grand. That's for all the stainless in the windows and done.
That's your top done.
Yep.
There you go. And something like that's already chopped.
About the same. Yeah, exactly. That car's already chopped.
Yeah, so you're
you're ahead of the game.
You would come ahead of the game if you wanted something like that.
Yeah.
Whacked. And you would have no better guy to whack it than Mr. 401.
Yeah, I've done a couple.
That's probably the most anybody's ever done.
I don't know. I used to think that, but I'm not sure.
401 cars?
That's a lot.
I don't think I own 401 cars.
Yeah. I don't know how many's in here. How many chops in here? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's 16, 17 in here right now. That's a lot.
It is a lot. What's that? And how many outside?
Yeah, there's a bunch outside.
Jolene's even smiling.
Yeah.
You've got a Riviera here somewhere, do you know?
Yep, I do. How'd you see that?
I think I seen it over there. It was over there. Can we go back over that way?
Oh, yeah.
Are you mostly MIGing? Are you taking
Yeah, no, almost all MIG, man.
Quickest way to weld something in the world, is it not?
Yeah, and you know what? They don't crack or... are they metal finished and look like a lot of people's that they do nowadays? No. But...
Yeah, everybody's filling them out anyway when they're all done.
Yeah.
There's nobody painting a raw car.
There's no way. All the metal finished cars, if you paint them, they're going to have humps and bumps and bubbles. The metal might look awesome, and I don't like metal finishing, to tell you the truth, because I like my 18 gauge to be 18 gauge. You start taking too much material off and filing them and grinding them off. Now your 18 gauge just became 20 gauge. Does it look cool? Sure.
Hit it with a welder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. Yeah. You're my kind of man.
Whenever I start having a problem with something, that car's what, 24 years old? Still winning, still looking good. That's all MIG. No cracks, no issues, no Bondo cracking, no paint issues, no nothing.
You can bring that car up too, Jolene. What's that?
That's the original. That's the Gable.
That's the Gable. It's quite something else.
Yeah, that was a fun, cool car.
You must be proud of it.
I am.
Man, did that win most beautiful custom?
That one did.
Yeah. And that award is given away at Sacramento.
It's at Sacramento, huh?
And you're the man.
Yep.
Get all the rings.
Yeah, got a couple.
Yeah. Super Bowl's on today. Eh?
Yeah, I know. You're right. This is my Super Bowl in here, though.
Is that right?
Yeah, I don't do much football. This little shoebox is my wife's 4-door.
Yeah, I noticed that. And it's pink.
It's pink,
Is it the primer? Is it the color she wanted?
No, she wants it pink. She wants it like she's cool with it just like it is. That is actually a sealer that I tinted to the pink, and that's her done. She wants to drive it. It's ready.
She's ready.
She's ready. I'm not. A little bit more brakes and a drive line, a couple more things. She'll drive it. I told her I'd try to get it done this summer.
I like your honesty about the welding. I like that.
Yeah.
You know, some people, some people ask me to TIG, and it would slow me down.
Yeah.
It really would. It would
Yeah.
slow me down.
It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
No,
that's
not at all.
awesome. If
Yeah.
that's what you want to do, TIG away.
Yeah, take away.
But my MIG worked for me.
Yeah.
There's some things, I mean, obviously stainless. I'm okay. I got a bunch of TIGs.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it. I'm not no expert with it for sure. About the time I think I'm good, then I realize I suck. So I take a piece of molding and I think, I'll weld it. I'm finishing. I thought, I got this. And then about 3 moldings in, I start blowing holes and it starts to look like junk. And it's like I'm lost and I'm thinking, I'm not good. I'm not as good as I thought I was.
There you go. You've chopped this car?
Yep. Yep.
That's a nice looking chop on that.
That has that caprice roof on it. So just the skin out of it's flatter than a rivy roof. That has a caprice crown, kind of like I did the Ford out there.
Okay.
Same thing. I chopped it, got the look I wanted to, and then I took a caprice and cut the crown out of it. It has a caprice crown in it.
Nice.
A little different.
Joey made a post where we did a 38 Ford, and I was talking about cutting apart, and some guy sent in a Mustang, and he took and put a Chevy Caprice roof on it or something.
Really?
Made a fastback
Yeah.
out of it, and it looks awesome.
Yeah,
It
weird. People
he
can
made
come
a
up
fast,
with-
yeah,
yeah.
it looks absolutely awesome. I told him whatever. Can I go over this way?
Oh, yeah,
here?
yeah.
This truck here, just before I go over this way, this truck here, when you chopped it, is this a straight down machine?
It is, but I do my Chevys different
Okay.
than normal. So if you notice here, I made these pieces.
Nice.
Here. So instead of cutting right through the middle,
Yes.
I cut the whole thing out. I
Looks nicer.
I throw it away.
Yeah.
I chop it inside because it's double panel and you can't get to your double panel. This way here I can get to my inside panel.
Right.
I can weld it, grind it, pick it,
Gotcha.
get where I want to. When I'm all done with the look I want to, then I weld this piece back in. Or make this piece.
You made this piece of
I
stainless?
did. What a good eye.
Well done. It looks
Yeah.
nice.
That's funny. So
That's nice.
And one thing I did that's different on these Chevy trucks, which I don't really understand. On a big window, the window goes up to right here,
Yeah.
right? And on the small windows, they go up there also. But they made this really thick. So the windows, if you look at trucks, are going to start bugging you because the windows are way too high. They're way up here, and when they're not chopped, they're up here. So the window's way too high. So I took and cut all this out, made all this, and dropped it down. So at least you got a little gap between it.
Right.
Kind of more proportionate.
How'd you make this piece of stainless? You make it over a buck?
That's actually aluminum.
Okay.
And so you could do it over a buck, but I do it kind of fast. I'm kind of fast at them. I actually just use a vise.
Okay.
And so I look at, what that radius that I want right here.
look at the shape and go for it?
Exactly. Yep.
for
I
you.
just take a piece of cardboard or a piece of paper and just kind of trace it, and I just set it over there, and I just start bending it and just match it to that shape. And so, I mean, like this, I'll make that whole thing in 45 minutes probably.
Wow.
Something like that.
I'm in love. I would like that. Yeah, that's the way I would do it. Like,
Yep.
I would bend it.
Yeah.
Is this another one of your chassis that's down front sort of deal?
No, this one here was one I just notched and
Okay.
and did.
Everybody's going low to the ground here, right?
Everybody's on the ground here. It's kind of like the norm.
Yeah. Like, see, it's so much work. It really is.
You know
like,
what? People don't realize that.
Like, it's so much.
Everyone says you wrote the car's too low. Well, they have airbags. You can adjust it to wherever you want to, but it's so much more work. You got to cut the inner fender panels out and everything. It gets crazy.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's so much work.
It is a lot of work.
I got a couple airbag cars, and if they don't start, they don't go up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like, it's really hard on the
Yeah.
nerves. I enjoy just the static
Static.
drive.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. I'm starting to kind of like them too.
But you get doing something like this, man, you're cutting the whole ass in your car like that.
Everything.
Like a shoebox.
Yes, exactly. The whole thing's gone.
Yeah, because you have
Yeah.
to and remake it.
Yeah. Way more work than people think. And then you start getting like a 54 Chevy and you want it to lay all the way out. It's everything. All the inner fender pounders are thrown away. It becomes a lot of work.
Wow. What have you got going on up here?
A 56 Caddy.
I want to go on this side. You're welcome. Take a look at this bad boy. Wow, it's beautiful.
Yeah, thanks.
Wow.
It's just
you do
clean.
all this?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just clean.
Wow.
It didn't get crazy and didn't like do all the spot welds and didn't fill them all in, all the stuff, and all the wrinkles. Just kind of.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's a lot of work there. If someone don't notice that, their head's
Yeah.
bad. Their head's bad. And this one, what's he coming in to get this one going to the ground? Is what he wants going on?
This one lays all the way out.
And is this a powder coat?
Yeah, but from here to here this is actually paint. I painted to match the powder coat, the same sheen as the powder coat.
Well, you fooled me.
Yeah.
That looks good.
Thanks.
That looks real good.
But I did this. The frame was already powder coated, and then this had to be notched and plated. And so it's like, it took a little bit of time to get it.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's just one plate. It's just a 1/4-inch plate on the outside.
You took that much out of it, so
Exactly.
Yeah, that's nice. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, pretty easy. Don't get in the way of your tires. Yeah. You don't got to cut the floor pan all out. It's only a 1/4-inch gap. That's all it is. So
that's an excellent idea right there. That's an excellent idea. Did you do all the body work on this bad boy?
I did not. I wish I did because it would have been straighter, but it's okay. It's all right.
I wish I did.
Yeah.
I wish I did. It's a big old car.
Big. Yeah. But this just could be like a daily driver, so it's going to be fine.
A daily driver.
It'd be at Walmart.
At Walmart? Walmart. Wow. So this shop, did you put this shop?
I did. And it was nice when we built it at first.
So it was empty.
It was empty and nice. And I didn't think it'd ever fill up. And I never thought it would look like this. I really never thought in my lifetime it would look like this. It's kind of out of control, but...
Well, I mean, if you're chopping 401 chopped cars, I mean, how many roofs you got to cut? 401 roofs you got to take off? 400.
Yeah, and if you think what we just figured out, 18, 20 cars in here right now, and you take all the tires off, now you got what, 100 tires sitting around, wheels and tires, and then extras. And
I can pick up all the bus spice for you.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of stuff you can pick up around here. Next time, bring a van, drive over.
You got a nice selection of steering wheels over here.
I got a few, yeah. I like steering wheels. And
me too.
Yeah, you do, huh? Yeah.
I do. I like steering wheels. I met, steering wheel, Chris is his name, is it?
Yes, and he does a nice job.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I like these ones. What are these off of?
That's a Buick there.
Is it?
That's an Olds.
Okay. How do you know the difference?
Just done them.
That one's in further?
Yeah, just different. It's not as wide.
Yeah.
And then you have like one in front of you, that's a 61 Buick in front of you right there. See that one right in front of you, the white one? Yeah, that's 61 Buick. That's an Impala next to that.
I think I have one of those.
I like them.
I don't know the, like you can just go, that's that.
Not all of them, but the ones I like, you remember.
Yep.
I can't name them all off, but I can name a few of them off.
What do you got going on here? A reciprocator saw tied to it. You chopped the fruit roof for far away?
Yeah, that's actually funny. You're funny you caught that. I made that to do my palm trees.
Okay.
So I took a sawzall, extended it, made a thing, and that's how I cut my palm tree branches off.
So you extended the wires all the way to there?
Yes, exactly. And my battery plugs in on the handle down here. You're the first person that ever noticed that. That is pretty funny.
I can chop a roof 40 feet away.
Yeah, exactly, yep.
And this is Gable.
That's the Gable.
Did this win America's Most Beautiful?
This one did, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is beautiful.
It is cool. I like it.
How long did it take you to?
2 years, year and a half, from start to finish. This was a coupe. It never was a convertible. This started off life as a coupe. And then I cut the top off it and...
Right.
Built from, there's like, I don't remember, 8 or 10 inches stretched in between the cowl and moved everything back, and the doors are moved back, and the doors are lengthened.
It's got a little swoop down to it.
Yeah,
exactly. It goes around. Mm-hmm. Now, was that a real good car when you started?
Yeah, solid car.
So, is John's buying pretty good cars to start with?
As a rule, he buys nice cars to start with.
It makes sense too, because
on his part, it's to say he saves money.
Yeah.
Because if not, you save money buying a car, then you're just going to pay me X amount of dollars to fix all the stuff that's messed up. But so he spends a little bit of money. He started off with some nice cars.
Car. So it's better off to chop a nice car than a poopy car.
It's way funner for me too.
It's way better.
Yeah, it is better.
I would say that also. Like I guess where we're doing the content on the YouTube, it's better off for me to do basically all I can because it shows the process of making things and doing things, or how I'm figuring it out, or how I'm trying to get away with doing it for zero or whatever. But in all honesty, if you want a nice car, you should start with a nice car.
Yeah, and the same thing with you. Like if you were going to, let's say you wanted a whatever, 50 Merc.
Yep.
And you want to know how the direction you want to go in it, and you can afford to buy a nicer car, less work for you, probably get on the road a lot sooner. But a lot of people don't. They don't have that.
Right. That
the extra money to buy it, so they got to start with whatever they got.
Yes.
Like Bad Apple, I was a kid when I got that thing. It was literally just a quarter panels. I don't even think it had doors or nothing. It was just a body, and I bought it for $800. But $800 back then when I was a kid, it was like I probably had $802. You know, it took everything to buy the stupid sucker. If I didn't have gas to go get it.
Yeah.
But then just over the years, I just,
you went
put
for
together.
it,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well done. Well done. And it's just you and your sons. Can I walk over here?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ah, you got an El Camino going for it.
That's my son's. I gave that to him when he was in high school, so that's been in here for a lot of years too.
Got a big ass brake over here.
Yeah, I got a few brakes over there.
Bender over there. What's that? Okay. You liking this primer?
I like primer. Some primers better.
Yes.
I have a weird procedure that's different than a lot of people. This isn't bad. I mean, I'm not going to pick on it. There's a lot of solids in there, and it's a good primer. There is primer I like better. Like, even before I do any mud work, it's kind of better to do a primer down first, a sealer primer, a DTM primer. And so House of Colors has an awesome one. Ace of Shades has a good one. So they're
goes down before filler.
Yes. Do a test for yourself. No, don't take my opinion. This would do. Take a piece of sheet metal.
Yeah.
Put a line on it. Spray it. Primer. Bond to both of them. See which one would grab better. And I scratch that metal up.
I've actually done that, and I find that the body fill does adhere to the
You ain't gonna flip it off there, tip it off there. Do you see? You even actually drop some on there.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna flip it off.
I have. I've done it both ways.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm going to bare metal because it's money.
Yeah.
That's money. Mm-hmm. But in all honesty, the body fill does grab onto that primer.
Yeah. Now, Bondo will adhere better to your DTM primers, like your Prime Time from Ace of Shades. You put that down, you break it down, you use it almost like a sealer, and put it kind of thin. Scratch it up a little bit, put your mud work over the top of it, and then there's no barrier between that Bondo and that metal. I mean, or you have a barrier, and then that Bondo's. You ever done something, I mean, like years ago, and you go, wow, there's a bubble right here, and there's rust underneath it.
I got a whole car that way.
Yep. if you primer it first, it will never do that.
Yeah.
So now, fiberglass don't like it. Your fiberglass, you does not like the primer.
Okay, so you fiberglass first.
Exactly. Fiberglass, you're fiberglassing first. Lightly DTM primer, and then mud it, and you'll have zero issues.
I like that. Nice. I like that. There's so many
of the stuff in
so many different ways of doing it. Yeah.
Bondo's is porous. It's like a sponge, right?
Yeah.
So you know how it's really lightweight, and you think it's kind of like a sponge. So it'll soak most of the stuff up from the backside. So like if you weld something, and let's say you metal finish it, you think that's metal finish, and nothing's going to come through it. It will come through from the backside.
Gotcha.
So you mud it, and then from the backside, the moisture will get in there, and then that's where you get your problems.
Yeah.
So you primer it, and then you mud it, and there's nothing to come through. Even if it comes through a little bit, it's not going to rust on you, so it evaporated anyways.
Yes, I didn't go over your process, but give me some of your process while we're standing there. When you bring a car and you got it in all your metal work is done. Mm-hmm. You fiberglass first?
I fiberglass over all my welds.
Okay.
No matter almost whatever I'm doing, I will glass. Even if it don't really need fiberglass, I just skin it.
Right.
Then we hug it down with a hug.
Yep. Hug it down with a hog.
Well, 8-inch hog.
Okay.
You use them. You use them. Yes.
Yep.
It's called a Bondo hog.
Bondo hog.
8-inch Bondo hog. You hug it down or grind it, and then you DTM primer it, and you do your filler over it.
Okay.
And there's so many different fillers out that people like.
What are you sanding your filler with first?
With my glass or
no, when you put your filler on over top when you get your
36.
primer, you're going 36, and then what grit?
We'll go 36, and then if we have 40, we'll go over it with 40. But a lot of times we're out of 40 for some reason.
Okay.
And so I do 36, and then 80.
Then 80. Will you prime after that?
I can prime over 80. My son is really good at, he loves finishing mud to like 120.
Okay.
So, you know, it just saves my primer buildup is none.
Yeah.
But
so it's a 36, 80, then a 120.
Yep.
And then you're off to your polyester primer.
Exactly. And I polyester primer everything.
Okay. How many coats of primer will you put on that?
The initial will probably be 3 polyester coats, and then, you know, half of it ends up on the floor, and then you'll see lows and you'll see some stuff, and you come
your
back.
Guide coating.
Yeah, and then I'll come back in.
What are you hitting your primer with?
On like 100.
Okay. Sharper paper straightens. I always say sharper paper is what straightens it out.
We waste paper.
Yeah.
We just run new piece.
Well,
of new
if you
piece,
don't
a
have
new
a
piece.
good sharp piece of paper, you're really wasting your time.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically. And you'll hit that with 100 with a guide coat on it.
We don't really. Yeah, we guide coat later.
Okay. Doesn't matter then. So you're going to 100. What are you doing after you get it all sanded? Are you going to finer paper after 100? Are you going back into polyester primer?
No, polyester primer one time.
Yeah.
Well, you end up with spots.
Right.
You'll end up with spots. You'll end up with, you know, 10 spots this big that you got to fill a primer back again, and then block that down, and then they start getting less. And then you end up with your DTM primer back over top of that, not reduced down.
Okay.
So you're using the DTM primer for kind of a light filler primer too.
Yeah. So you'll prime it again after the first blocking of 100. Probably 3-4 coats.
Yep.
And then you're going. How are you starting off of that one after that?
After you get done with the polyesters.
Yes.
Polyester, spot little mud.
Well, after the second time priming, what are you going with the paper after that? Like your second prime, you're onto your second prime.
180.
Okay, you're going 180 to 500, 400?
No, not on the primer like that. On that primer right there, about 320 is the finest will go.
Okay.
Because you're going to primer over top of that also for a sealer primer. And then your last, depends on the color now too. Whatever color you're painting the car.
Okay.
Silvers and golds, you got to go all the way to 600, 800. Because they will show scratches. You think you got it straight, you think you got it nice, and paint it silver or gold, and you'll see scratches. It looks like 36 scratches, and they're 500 scratches. So they really magnify.
So you'll go to 320, you say?
Yep.
And then you'll put your sealer on.
Yep.
And put your base down.
Well, I don't really. I don't do anything by the book.
Just asking the process.
So I don't.
Your car speaks for the process.
Itself, yeah. So I don't like sealing a car and instantly painting over top. I know that's a procedure that everybody does. I will seal a car and I'll let it set 2 days, and then I will water sand it down with 500, 600.
Okay.
And then I have a nice slick bed to work off of, and then I start my bases off of that.
Now, if it breaks through anywhere, are you putting more?
You have to. You got to airbrush some back in it.
Okay.
But you try not to.
Right. So you don't want to break that shell anytime you paint anything.
If it's broke through, you got to prime again.
Right.
And it happens.
Yeah, happens to everybody. Obviously. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Car's a big deal. Wicked. Thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And Bondos and stuff. I don't know. You could probably get anything that we get here, right, in Canada, or no?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
Yeah. What fillers do you like?
Well, to be honest with you, I've been just using Napa filler for filling because whatever. Then I've been trying to go to a smoother filler, but I just got one the other day that I've tried. I don't even know what it's called, but it's some thin and runny. Like I don't use 2-part putty. I generally 40, 80 prime, and then I'll block it with an 80 or 100 to straighten it out, and then I'll probably put 3 or 4 more coats of primer on it, and then I would 220. I guide coat it 220, guide coat it 400 it, and then I paint with a single stage. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. But pinholes and stuff like that, I usually fix them right after I do my first prime. Yeah. Because like you said, the filler, what we do too. Filler sticks really good, and I go around, just touch them and fix them spots. Yeah. And then I can primer right over top of it. Yeah, Fusion is a really good bonnet that we like. A lot of people don't like it. That's our favorite. Fusion. It has a lot of resin in it. Yeah. And you can, you ever been mixing mud, and once you know it's going off, it's pretty much done. This you can work it and cream it back up again, and then it stays a little bit soft. You'll plug your paper up a little bit when you first. We get on it wet. We don't wait till it dries. Gotcha. We get on it really wet with 36, and we shape it.
we shape it that we want to, and then
It holds on good to your primer, and that's why you're able to do that.
Yep. They just bite into it really good. You don't roll it back.
I get that.
If
you do on bare metal, sometimes it does roll back.
Sometimes it will, yeah.
Yeah, if you don't let it.
There's a small window right there that it won't, but if you get on it to where it sands good, you will roll it right off.
Right on. Well, this has been awesome. Bunch of windows over there.
Yeah, I got a few of them over there, huh?
Are they all for being chopped, or?
Those are mostly chopped, yeah.
Are you chopping the windows?
You know what I did for a long time? I did, I think I did 38, and I was successful with 36 of them. But there's a guy in LA that I've been having him do the windows lately, and it's just like, I'm not chopping them for as cheap as what he's charging to do them, so.
Right, it makes sense.
I just let him do them.
It makes sense.
And it takes me a long time. I don't do them traditional. I am not good with a
glass cutter. Was that how you cut them?
Nope.
How would you cut them?
Well,
am I allowed to ask that?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you. I got no secrets.
You got nothing to hide?
No. So I've tried everything. I've tried water with a cutoff wheel. So the problem that you have that a lot of people don't understand on a window is on a flat windshield or a little curved windshield, there's no problem. But you get a wraparound like in 55, 56 where they did a wraparound, there's tension in them corners. And you think you have it until you get into that corner, and then it will relieve that tension and crack that's what cracks the windshield. It's not heat. It's you're getting into where
they bent it.
Where they bent it, and it's under pressure all the time. And so the only way that I've ever been able to do it was I grind them with a grinder, and it will trip you out. But that's how I do it. I do it with a grinder and water. So I put it down on a sawhorse.
Yeah.
And I have my wife, my son, whoever, with a water bottle, with a spray bottle. And
sound familiar?
Yep. a piece of 36 grit, or 24 grit, 24 grit on a disc. And you got to pay attention to how, you know, the rotation of the wheel and blah, blah. You just swipe it. You just swipe it and swipe it and swipe it. And it makes a crazy disaster mess with chunks of glass everywhere. But that's how I do it. And then when you get close to being almost done, then you can go to smaller, or you can go down to 80 on your grit and clean it all up. And then I notice when I'm done, I take fingernail polish, clear fingernail polish, and I'll go through about 15 bottles, and I literally will just fingernail polish every one of those little chips.
Does that sound familiar?
Yep, the whole thing, just fingernail polish all of them all in.
Yeah. And
kind of, you can sand them smooth if you want to, or you don't have to, but that just kind of
holds it.
It just kind of holds it together, keeps it.
We use some fingernail, the glue, fingernail glue, crazy glue or whatever, same thing. We just sanded a flat window here the other day with, people call me names and stuff, but that's what they do.
There's going to be haters going to hate. I don't care what you do. I don't care what level you're at. There's going to be somebody that talks crap, and my funniest thing to me, I just kind of laugh, because I'll post this car up, or somebody will post a car. I'm not really big on posting my stuff. I do once in a while, but somebody will post this car up, and someone says, oh, they ruined it. It's too low, and it's too this, or they ruined a good car. So that car sold for $790,000. Let me see your car. That's $790,000. You know what I mean? If you come back with a better car, hey, my hat's off to you. That's awesome. I'm cool with it. But the people that are talking the most crap, it's crickets. They don't have nothing to say. All they have is just to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. 790,000.
It sold for $790,000.
Wow, that's beautiful. But it is a beautiful car.
It's a cool car.
It is.
Yeah.
You must be proud of that.
I am proud of it. I really like the car.
Yeah.
So it's fun to drive. I'm the only one that ever drove it, and I drove it. It's cool to drive. It's pretty fun.
Awesome. We've seen a couple old cars driving it as we were coming in. It's pretty cool. I enjoy that. What are we at there, baby? 105. Alrighty, we're gonna say. Come back tomorrow. It's been great talking to Oz. I really appreciate you telling your process and sort of stuff like that. We might be around again tomorrow.
Anytime.
And we might stop back again, because I feel like you got a lot more to say.
I'll put you to work.
Put me to work?
Yeah, put you to work, man.
Put me to work. Maybe we'll do some of that. And come back tomorrow. We'll be here. We might even be at Oz's place again.